I'll take that off you.
Yeah, you'll have to get it. I'll put it in fulfillment for you, all right?
Oh, thank you very much. So it looks like everybody is out there on the grid. So green flag, yeah, Paul Fagg's come into the pits there, unfortunately, Keith. So he was there, but not anymore. So green flag at the back, red lights are on, and the red lights are promptly out, and away we go then for the MRO Powerbikes, and that is going to be the Finley Arscott who's going to take the whole shot. Is it there? Harrison Crosby looks to the inside. Josh Owens relegated down to third place on the number 65 machine. 711 Phil Crow on the BMW there in fourth place, as the rest of the riders filter the way down the avenue, and everybody through safely on this first lap of 7, which is always good news. But Owens, Arscott, Crosby, not in that order there. It's Finley Arscott leading the way, we believe, as they go down in towards Cascades.
I'll have to wait and see. Unfortunately, this distance with my eyesight, I can't actually tell you who's doing what to whom, and as I said before, there's a lot of very unfamiliar colours here. So the mini twins, we recognise absolutely everybody. So you're used to seeing the bright colours go by. Unfortunately, these bikes, a lot of people are incognito fairings, as you were saying, basically testing fairings, waiting for their newly coloured sponsors' fairings to come out of the shed and be applied. So over the top we come in, down towards our braking zone to the chicane. Yeah. Right, let's see if I can pick up a number here for you, Bradley. You tell me. Nope, can't see a number on the first 2, 3, 4 bikes, so forget about that. I can see Big Phil's there, that's for sure. Recognise him. He's very hard to hide. David Kraviecki's there as well, because again, that bright pink bike makes it rather a unique spectacle. Awful lot of sublime design kind of looking bikes going past, but that's to be expected because Del does such great work for many classes as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, and a bit of work for yourself as well, with which is always good there,
yeah,
isn't
hopefully,
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got the lead. I can see the leaders making the way down from the lodge through Deers Leap, and the speed they come over Deers Leap and onto the front straight. I mean, Josh Owens' his front wheel is pouring out the air as they go in towards the Oulton Park there, into the braking zone, into Oulton Park. As Crosby leading the way by less than a tenth of a second over Josh Owens. Finley Arscott up next. A second behind him is Phil Crow, Stephen Butterworth, Morgan Creasy makes up 2 positions. Big mover on that one there. Looks as though it could well be the number 70 of Rob Pearce as Kraviecki drops down the timing screen there. I didn't see that all pink Yamaha R1.
Oh, okay. It definitely came past me, my friend. I 100% know that.
Unless, yeah, so I have to admit, I was looking at the timing screen as opposed to the circuit there. Oh, no, David's in the pits here. So,
okay.
Yeah, not sure.
Shame.
I'll try and keep an eye on what the issue could well be there. He's off the bike, and but he is back into the pits. He's
so annoying.
Looking at the left-hand side of the machine, so it could well be a gear lever coming off there, or an issue with a footrest or whatnot. But either way, the end result is the same. That unfortunately, Kraviecki is out of the race.
It's a genuine great show. It's a really frustrating thing to wait for your race for the whole weekend and then all of a sudden you're going home early. Okay, I don't think I've got any change here. I think it's still Crosby away from Owens there. Owens, oh no, it's had a change. Sorry, I've got no numbers here. I don't quite recognise their colours. Certainly, Phil Crow is still in fourth place, just slipping back just a little bit there. I can see Max Hardy going through as well on his 71 machine. I think that might be a change of the top end there, because I think Owens has now got the front running from Crosby, if I pull the numbers right. And I think Arscott's still in third. We'll check that when they come across the line, obviously, because we have a computer to do all the work for us there, which is always nice.
Yeah, I'm watching them now out of Deers Leap, and again, it's so impressive the speed that they come out of there with. It's Josh Owens leading the way from Finley Arscott, and next up is, it's Harrison Crosby ahead of Finley Arscott for second and third place, and we're doing a 37.727 for Josh Owens on that lap there, Keith. So Phil Crow there still in fourth place ahead of Stephen Butterworth, and no changes of position inside top 14 until we get down to Scott Halliday and Clinton Wood. And that, of course, is a battle on circuit as opposed to in class. But one we need to try and keep an eye on there is that one between Tyler Donovan and Jamie Thomas. They're making their way down the avenue now, and they are 17th and 18th on the circuit, separated by 1.8 seconds, but that is for the lead in the Retro Thousands.
Ah, right, okay, those guys are good, because we saw this with Steve Butterworth last year as well, didn't he? He did the Ultras and the Retros on the same bike, basically, because you can run the bike in both of them. That's the way to go. The one who hasn't been out on his retro bike this year is actually Dave Twyford. Not quite sure what's happened with the Honda. I'll have to ask Ian when I see him tomorrow, actually, at work. We'll wait and see there as the leaders come back past me once again. Right, so definitely no change that time, and it is Arscott there in third place behind Crosby and Owens. And oh, that's a brave move. Sorry, that was frighteningly close. Not quite sure who that was. Around about 10th place, but literally side by side, going with a full full pan-to-pan rub there, just do a bit of paint swapping right on the apex here of Nickerton Corner. So yeah, that was a very brave or stupid move, not quite sure which. I think it came off, so it's a brave move.
It's a fine line. It's a fine line, isn't it?
If it comes off, it's a brave move. If it doesn't come off, it's a stupid move. I think that's the way to look at these things, isn't it, Bradley?
Yeah, I'll go with that one on there. But, Josh Owens across the line with a 1.4 second advantage, and it's a 36.960 for Josh Owens on that lap then. So 1.5 seconds up the road over Harrison Crosby, Finley Arscott, and then I think the one that you're looking at there, Keith, is Jonathan Perry ahead of Luke Wallington in 10th and 11th place.
You're about right, yep.
So Scott Stone up next. Scott Halliday's made up 2 positions on Rob Pearce and Sam Cranston. So we've got a battle to keep an eye on in the Clubman's. As number 70, Rob Pearce, is 0.6 of a second up the road. Where are we looking there? 0.6 of a second behind Halliday, but more importantly, 0.2 of a second up the road from Sam Cranston. And that is for the lead in the Clubman's. And Donovan and Thomas, 1.1 seconds is the gap now. So Thomas has closed it by around about half a second on that lap.
Right, down they come then, and I'll tell you what, Owens is looking so strong. He really knows his way around this Oulton Park circuit. I definitely wouldn't bet against him. Here come the next two. This is where the real battle is, and I think we've got a position change. Arscott is passed on Crosby there, so there's a little bit of a change there. Behind them, it is still, no, Phil Crow's disappeared, hasn't he? Yeah, no, that's Phil Crow, sorry. Then it's Steve Butterworth. I'm annoyed I haven't had a chance to catch up with Steve this weekend. Had a good chat with him at the dinner dance last year. Really nice guy. Morgan Creasy's still in the mix there. It's hard to know who exactly is leading as far as the club class goes. I think it may well still be Max Hardy. I'm not quite sure what the situation is with Roberts there. Do you know, is he a club runner or do you think he's a national runner, mate?
I'm not familiar with the name. It's not one that I recognise from Stock Thousands or anything like that. Unfortunately.
That therein lies the problem, of course. We like to be fair and stuff, but if we don't know anything about you and you're a new name to us, unfortunately, it's a little bit awkward there. And he's from Chippenham, so he's not a million miles away from here in relative terms, but not that close either. So I don't think this is his local circuit either. No, he clearly knows his way around it very well indeed. The other one I need to mention out there as well is Andy Houghton. Andy, the Newbury-based disabled rider, is out on BMW S1000RR as well this weekend. I think he might have borrowed that from Talon this weekend. No, it was a Yamaha he borrowed from Talon. It was meant to be on his BMW, but that has gone bang on him. So he's going to get that repaired, and he's borrowing Talon's R1 for the weekend. That's what is happening there with him, as somebody decided to go through the chicane, and unfortunately, not through the chicane, goes straight on. Unfortunately, that is the number 77 machine of Finley Arscott, so goodbye to second place. I think you're going to see Harrison Crosby reclaim that second place very shortly there, Bradley.
Sorry, Kip, just had a Richie Wells come into the commentary box momentarily there. Just give us an update on his how his day is going there. But we'll talk more about that later on. But apologies, I did miss what you said there. Sorry about that.
Saying that Finley Arscott went straight on here on the escape road and took the escape road, so that's going to cost him a place. So you'll see a change there. He was lost at least one, maybe 2 places. I think he'll probably get away with just the 1 place being lost there.
I can see he's come across the line. He's 0.2 or 0.3 of a second behind Harrison Crosby now. So yeah, I can see a little bit of a slower first sector there that time around about a second or so. But it's made up a little bit of time in the second sector. But Crosby and Arscott are separated by just shy of 0.3 of a second. Crow, Butterworth, Luxton, Creasy, Roberts, Hardy, Luke Wallington passed now on Jonathan Perry for 10th position. And
Owens made it to the 36s again, mate.
Yeah, fastest lap of a 36.779. That was on lap number 4.
Wow, that's amazing. That really is. That is so fast. That's just obliterated the old lap record, hasn't it? Got to think that one might stand for a little while, haven't you? But you never know.
Well, watching that battle for the Clubman's there, we've got Cranston, Pearson, Wood, all close together on the circuit there. About 0.8 of a second between Sam Cranston, Rob Pearce and Ben Wood, that is, sorry, on bike number 85.
Yeah, that's Ben Clinton's son there, who was the runner-up in the rookie thousands last year. That's kind of what brought Clinton back to racing again this year after having had a bit of a layoff. And yeah, you're right. Arscott is not taking that mistake lying down. He's definitely closed the gap. He wouldn't be surprised if he went least green as he goes up the hill there. Is that the case on the 77 machine, mate?
77 there. I think the yellow's in the top 4 there for the first sector.
Okay.
But the 77 machine there is a 1/10.5 quicker in the first sector.
Yeah, he certainly made up a lot of time there that he sacrificed, of course. So he's looking to regain that second place before the end of the race.
Last lap flag has gone out to Josh Owens, and that time around he's in the 37.789 bracket there. So he's still in the 37s, lapping quicker than those behind him. Finley Arscott now ahead of Harrison Crosby, as you mentioned there, by a 1/10.5. So Phil Crow across the line now in 4th place. It becomes a bit of a relatively lonely one as the laps draw on there for Phil, the big man from Market Raisin, as Stephen Butterworth comes across the line to round out the top 5 with just 2.6 miles to go. Morgan Creasy up next ahead of Gareth Roberts then, and that is a battle for 7th and 8th on the circuit. And Roberts was lapping a little bit quicker on that lap there, Keith. So that's one to watch between Creasy and Roberts heading down the avenue now. But we're just waiting for Cranston, Pierce and Wood. They're in towards Lodge now. Hard to tell who is where. Oh, we've got a rider down at Lodge actually. I just see a bit of dust go up there, Keith. So we'll try and pick up who that may have been. I can see that Sam Cranston and Scott Halliday are coming across the line. In fact, Halliday has a slight advantage over Cranston. And next across the line will be Tyler Donovan next across the line and Jamie Thomas. So it looks as though Rob Pierce and Ben Wood have not come out of Lodge there, unfortunately.
Hopefully they're both okay. And nothing too sorry to carry home in the van. As watch the rest of the runners and riders come through. And geez, these big bikes are so fast coming out of the chicane. They really do power up that hill at such a great rate of knots. Okay. Goes Phil Crow past me again, and behind him is the 169 machine. So yeah, that Creasy battle just going past me as well. I think that's Morgan who's still got the advantage there, despite being closed very rapidly down the hill there. And you're right, it was very close indeed between those two there, Creasy and
that was Gareth Roberts there. The checkered flag has gone out now, Keith, and it's Josh Owens who takes the victory by 5.7 seconds over Finley Arscott and Harrison Crosby. Phil Crow next across the line, 6.9 seconds adrift from that trio. Then it's Stephen Butterworth to round out the top 5 ahead of Ben Luxton on that 7.65 Triumph. And then we have, that's Gareth Roberts just ahead of Morgan Creasy still, as Morgan takes a look over his left shoulder, and we'll see Max Hardy a few seconds behind. So Luke Wallington up next ahead of Jonathan Perry on bike number 62. That is your top 11 at the end of that 7-lap encounter for the Reactive Parts MRO Powerbikes, as we wait now for the Clubman. So Scott Halliday there will be 12th of the MRO Powerbikes there. He's just coming out of Deers lead now to take the checkered flag. 12th place for Scott Halliday ahead of Sam Cranston, who takes victory in the Clubman
That's another win for Cranston. I tell you what, he's looking very good indeed in this championship. And of course, the good news for him there, not good news for Ben Wood unfortunately, but Ben Wood is the man who was closest to him in the championship coming into this round. With Ben's DNF there, it's definitely give Cranny at least a 25-point advantage. So all good for him.
So yeah, no, second in the Clubman's there is number 87 of Carl Thompson there. So